Greetings, growers. I'm in a gala block and I'm observing how the bloom is progressing. One thing that I realize is that as we're approaching full bloom, that means petal fall is just around the corner. And I was having a conversation with a grower about their petal fall spray earlier today, and what came up was what the recipe is going to be with our program to help them with their crop productivity and the program that's their standard program that they're comparing to, and what that program recipe looks like. And in the process of looking through it, one thing that's tricky with foliar mixes is over applying materials or your tank mix material ingredients, because ultimately each one of those materials is fine, but when you start putting 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 ingredients into one tank, that's new chemistry that's never been tested. And ultimately, this plant and these delicate parts that are so sensitive as they're growing and developing and not yet mature have to manage all of that chemistry. And when you have that tender new development, it could very easily be susceptible to phytotoxicity, and that issue can really hinder your productivity. That may not be a risk you should be taking. In terms of the slim margins we have right now in the ag economy, but while we're dealing with trying to set a good crop and set it in the right direction, which is foundational thinking for this year's productivity, it's critical to make sure that you don't take any undue risk in the process. And so putting together a recipe that works out and is less risky and less ingredients and safer chemistry and still get the growth response is really a good idea. And so in the course of that conversation with the grower, we actually talked about the recipe and changed from 10 ingredients in his standard program and reduced it down to just 4 with our program, without losing any of the beneficial nutrients that are added in for the development that's necessary as the canopy pushes out. Not only is there less risk of mixing mistakes at the tank fill site for the person in charge of filling, but also you've got safer chemistry with less additives, so the tank load is less of an issue. And it turns out we were about $40 an acre less. Now that's a significant amount of money, and it all adds up over the course of a year. Take a look at your program and see how it measures up. If you guys are dealing with, in your programs, challenges like that, and you have tank mix mistakes from time to time, it might be worth taking an intentional look at that process in order to make sure you're getting the best for your plants, for your trees, with less risk. Because giving up risk and increasing efficacy is a win. And ultimately, the idea of, well, we never knew we had it, so we never knew we lost it, in this economy is not acceptable anymore. The margins are slim, and we've got to maximize every application to ensure success and a chance at profit at the end of the year. Here's to your crop success.